The problem with brain health, unfortunately, is there's still too much guesstimation. There are things that we think probably are good for your brain, and that if you do them, it probably will benefit your cognition. And that's okay, but really, we need better answers. The good news is we're starting to get them. Take this piece of research that just came out a few weeks ago. For the first time, it has identified 8 specific nutrients that can be directly shown to improve brain function and cognitive performance. And if you're dealing with cognitive impairment, you need to know what those nutrients are. Because if you're like most people over the age of 50, there's 2 of them in particular that you may not be getting nearly enough of, and your cognition may be suffering as a result. Hi, I'm Tony Deering of GoCogno.com, the website for people with mild cognitive impairment. The research that I want to talk to you about today was done at the University of Illinois and involved 32 nutrients that are associated with the Mediterranean diet. Using blood tests and brain scans, it isolated these 8 nutrients as directly tied to cognition. What I'm showing you here are the nutrients and the foods they can be found on. Susan McQuillan, a nutritionist and brain health writer, did an excellent piece on this for Psychology Today, and I'm including a link to her article below. I belong to a private group on Facebook for people with mild cognitive impairment, and Susan recently joined me in a Facebook Live to discuss this study. One thing she said is, don't take this list and think you should run out and buy a bunch of supplements. Now, it's better, as much as possible, to get these nutrients from the food you eat. But that's not always possible. Susan McQuillan points out 2 vitamins that are hard to get even from a healthy diet if you're age 50 or older. Those are vitamin B12 and vitamin D. And that matters a lot because deficiencies in either of these 2 vitamins are strongly linked to cognitive decline. B12 is an interesting case because it's easy to get and abundant even in the traditional American diet. You get it from animal products like meat, poultry, and dairy. And what's more, we produce our own B12. But here's the problem. Around the age of 50, Susan McQuillan says we stop producing something called intrinsic factor, which is the protein required to produce B12. That can be a double whammy, because it not only alters your ability to produce your own B12, it also reduces your ability to absorb B12 from the food you eat. As we age, we also become more vulnerable to a vitamin D deficiency, and that's something that's hard to get from food. So don't let either of those deficiencies go undetected, because they're both fairly easy to fix. As Susan McQuillan says, if you're feeling a lot of brain fog, more than usual, vitamin B12 is one of the things your doctor should be checking. It's one of those nutrients, along with vitamin D, that you might want to talk to your doctor about and find out if there's any benefit to taking supplements. Now, that's great advice. And of course, you also want to be paying attention to the other nutrients on the list and making sure that you're stoking your brain with all of them. If you want a copy of that list, I've added it to the free library on my website, GoCogno.com. When you sign up to join my free library, you get all of these resources, and you also get my weekly brain health email. It's all free. To sign up, just go to my website, GoCogno.com, and click on Free Library. There's a link to that below. Thanks for joining me today. I hope you found this information helpful, and I look forward to seeing you again next week. Until then, as always, be kind to your mind.